dealer in the country and one of the largest sporting goods dealers overall in the country. When I say sporting goods dealers overall, we do more than just apparel and cloth. We do obviously uniforms. And I see a lot of our stuff in the room right now, you know, that we actually deliver to you here at the school. We also do equipment, you know, football, baseball, cones. If it's related to sports, chances are we probably have it. We even have popcorn machines and snow cone machines and that type of stuff. I've been with BSN for 5 years now, and before that, I was a teacher and a coach. I did that for 18 years. And I'm gonna tell you, I wouldn't take anything for the time I was a teacher and coach. It was some of the best times of my life. But now that I'm almost 50, I wish I'd been doing this for the previous 18 years, because I probably would be retiring in another year or two. Just be straight up honest about it. You know, teachers, we gotta have them, love teaching. Like I said, love coaching. But financially, I'm not gonna pull any punches on it. You don't make money as a teacher a lot of people. You don't know that. I don't have to tell you. You've all been told this before, I'm sure. Teaching is not where a lot of money's at the high school level. You know, if you get into college level, these guys make millions. They just won't tell you about it. No. At the high school level,
I wish.
It's not a lucrative financially, but I tell you, the things you get rewarded wise, other than finances, are worth it. So I don't regret anything. But I will tell you, 2 years in this job, I doubled my highest pay when I was a teacher, athletic director, head coach of 2 sports. In 2 years, I doubled my pay. So if you want something, you can. This is a good question for you. How many of you want to determine how much money you make when you graduate? What's the one job that I know of that you can determine your own salary? This is it right here. Sales. It doesn't have to be sporting goods sales. Sales in general. Sporting goods, I think, is one of the best things, because I don't care what anybody says, there's always going to be sports. I've seen places that would close the school but still want to have a sports team. You know, sadly enough, that's the case. But even if you get out of, we've discussed this before, you know, at the high school level, sports is losing its fizz in a lot of places. And a lot of that's due to AAU, travel baseball. Now it's becoming football oriented with 7-on-7. You know what? School or not, they still need equipment, right? They still need apparel. So this business is going to be there regardless, I think. When we had the economic downturn a few years back, sporting goods business did not suffer. Because I know that a lot of you probably seen this before. A lot of times, parents will pay for sports before they'll pay for anything else. I mean, that's kind of sad in a way, but it's true. Because everybody, I used to say this when I was coaching. I coach football. I want you to play the 10 best players and my son. That's the way it is. Play the 10 best and my son. The basketball player, I want you to play the 4 best and my daughter. Baseball, 8 best and my son better be pitching or catching. Nobody wants to play right field. They better be pitching or catching. So you understand the point I'm trying to make is, parents, unfortunately, a lot of parents push the athletics real hard. So, that being said, you're always going to have a job in this business. But I said you can determine what you want to make in this sales positions, okay? I get paid on a, what they call a draw basis. Guess who sets my draw? You. I do, through negotiations. I'm not going to say, I want to draw $1 million a year, because they're going to slap me away from the table. But I can go in and say, I can justify getting paid $100,000 a year. And if you can justify it, that's what they're going to do. Here's the flip side of that, guys. You get lazy, you don't go up, oh man, I don't think I'm going to work today. I'm just going to stay home. Or, that'll wait till tomorrow. Or, that'll wait till next week. You're not selling. End of the year, you sold $85,000 worth of salary. So $800, let's just say 10% is a good base, okay? You get 10% of all your sales is commission, and that's just a drawn up number. pretty standard though in sporting goods business, although you can determine how that changes. If I sell $850,000, how much is my salary? 85, right? 85,000. But I set my draw at 95,000, so they've been paying me like I'm gonna make $950,000 in sales all year. Guess what they do if I don't make the 95, the 950? They come back next year. They're gonna lower your draw. You're not gonna have an option. They're gonna drop it, and they're gonna drop it considerably because they're gonna not only take you to where they think you can sell, they're gonna take back that money they already paid you. Hey, you did it to yourself, right? That's the only way to look at it. You put yourself in that position because you said, I want to make $100,000 a year. You better sell $1 million worth of stuff if you're getting a 10% increase. I mean, it's that simple. So there's a lot of stress in this job. If you don't believe me, just come to my house when I get paid. But watch me when I watch my wife walk out of the house. I get really stressed because she's going to the store. And I know I better have some money coming, you know. But if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, then I might get it. Now, I know some of you are thinking like I do. Well, what if I sell $1.3 million worth of stuff? So I'm supposed to make $130,000, but I only got paid $100,000. What do you think happens there? It's my favorite time of the year. It's February and August. I get a bonus check for anything over what I should have made. That's nice. Now, the taxes aren't nice. Some of y'all haven't experienced that yet. You will. Taxes stink. When your bonus check's supposed to be $42,000 and you get it, it's 24. You know, that really hurts your feelings. But guess what? It happens. You know, I mean, it's that simple. But of course, you're going to get it back, hopefully, when you do your income tax returns. But this job, along with any sales job, pretty much, if you're in a sales job and you can't determine your own salary, get out of that sales job. I'll tell you right now, get out. Don't take a sales job on salary only. Don't do it. Don't. Because you're shortchanging yourself. Unless you know you're going to be lazy, you're not going to work hard, then take it. Ride it as long as you can because you're going to get fired. If you don't perform in these jobs, this job, you're going to get fired. You know, it's a, people all the time see me and they're like, man, I wish I had Georgia. You got it made. Coaches. They don't think about the fact that I was sitting where they were 6 years ago. I was sitting where that coach is sitting. And you know what I'm thinking about my salesman that's selling me stuff? Man, I wish I had that joker's job. He probably on a golf course by 2 o'clock every day. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm out there doing stuff every time. That I want to do. I'm not going to work 27th, 28th, 29th of this month. I'm going to Charlotte, North Carolina, big Board of Outlaws places. You know, I want to take off. I'm going to take off. The company doesn't care. All the company cares about is that number, your number. Meet your number. And that's any sales position you got. It's a good sales position. Meet your number. And I'm going to tell you another thing about sales and sales positions. Your number is never going to be good enough. Once you meet it, guess what next year is? My number my first year that I worked with BSN, they didn't think I could do this. You know, I was a coach, no experience in sales whatsoever. I was a coach, so I come in, they set my number at $45,000, which means that's what my salary was, right? My first year, it's $750,000 in sales, which is $75,000 salary. That's those big bonus checks you like, okay? I'm like, cool. Guess what they did next year? My number was $900,000 because I already did $750,000. So now, boom, I come in the next year, get 1.012. I'll never forget it because I barely made $1 million. In this business, if you do $1 million in sales, you're considered, yeah, you know, it's like, that's where you want to be. And so I'm like, okay, I'm $1 million salesman now. I'm good. I'm good. But there was enough coaching me still that when they set my number up there at 1.15 million, I have to achieve that number. That's me. This is going to tell you what kind of person takes the best up. I have to beat that. I cannot be beat by my number. That is a challenge. 1.2. This past year, they set it at 1.25. I did 1.36. Because I'm gonna beat that number. Now, these jokers are going crazy, they done set me at 1.5 for next year, so I may get whipped this year. That's a lot. Think that's a lot. When you're talking about selling t-shirts and shorts and uniforms and shoes and you're up against competitors and everything else, that's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Some years in this business, you're gonna hit it, man, you're gonna feel like the king of the world. Because you're gonna, like last year, I had 2 orders that were grants that I wrote. I wrote the grant for the school. School gets awarded the grant. Guess who they buy the stuff from? Because I wrote the grant. $80,000 sale, like that, one time. Then the superintendent likes me, so she gives the school system $90,000 to improve their weight rooms. So guess who gets all that? Me, because we sat at a golf course, and she asked me, how do you think, it was their golf course, their golf tournament, she said, how do you think that my athletic programs in my county can get better? I said, you need to improve your weightlifting and training facilities. I'm talking as a coach now, because honestly, I wasn't trying to sell anything. I was just worried about the golf stuff, you know. Lo and behold, 3 months later, I forgot about this whole conversation. I get a phone call from the county athletic director that says, hey, got $90,000 you spend on weight rooms. You ready? I said, yeah, where'd that come from? You don't remember talking to the superintendent? I said, yeah. She told me to call you. You got 90 grand. So there. So add that up, guys. It's 170 between those two that I'm not going to get this year. You know, let's face it, it's not coming back. I'm not that good of a talker, you know. So I'm not able to get her to do it again. So now, they increased my number, but guess what else? I got to find somewhere to make that 170 up. So my whole point of this whole rambling story is you got to constantly be working, you got to constantly be digging. Constant. Working and digging. Working and digging. Last night, 12:45. I know exactly what time it was. 12:45. I was sending emails to coaches, to Kevin Terry over at UW Athletic Building. 12:45. I'm sending him emails because that's when I had time to work on the emails. If I'm out selling all day, think about this. I'm out selling all day. I get a stack of orders, you know, whatever. And I go home, I can't just lay those on my computer and then automatically get ordered. It doesn't work that way. So I have to sit down and place those orders. Now some of you are thinking, well, why not just do it the next day? Well, I won't be out selling. If I'm behind my computer, I'm not selling, for the most part. That's a little different, not really true. But I've got to have time to get behind my computer screen, enter orders, do things. Well, why can't it wait till the weekend? Every day that you wait to order, that's one day longer that coach is not getting their stuff. And y'all know how coaches are. You know, I mean, I was one, I know. I promise you, I can order something today, and by Friday, I'll be getting an email, when's it getting here? Promise. It happens. A lot of communication has to happen in this. You have to have people skills. You know, if you don't have people skills, you're not going to be successful in sales of any kind. Sporting is anything. Now, here's the ultimate thing to think about. Do you have to have a sports background to sell sporting goods? Where do y'all think?
Nope.
You don't. We've got guys in our company, and y'all gonna laugh, but I promise you that our guy's been there 8 years. And he called me the other day and goes, I got a question. He said, this coach wants a so-and-so. What is that? And it was a daggum knee pad for football pants. I mean, you think that's easy for me because I did it. But he didn't know because he was asked for a specific brand, you know. So you don't have, and I always use this as a great example of, can you do this job if you never had any background in it? Any girls basketball players in here? Ain't none? Well, I'm sure Coach G won't mind me using him. You think he ever played girls basketball in his life? No. But he studies it. He knows the game and he coaches it. You know, you don't have to have done this, but you've got to do extra homework. Yeah, you've got to do homework. Now, I'm sure Coach G played basketball, but it wasn't girls. There is a difference. I don't care what anybody says. There's a difference. Our both, I know. So the whole thing is, if you're willing to work, you can really do well in this job. I went to training class when I started with BSN. This is before they had BSN University. We're kind of like Google now, man. We go up there, they got these little training classes and universities and all that stuff. You know, back then we went, they took like, I think it was 24 of us, put us in a room, had 2 regional managers come in who probably didn't know a lot about getting out and doing it, and went over our computer system, how it worked, what we had to do, this, which is all obsolete now. It's all changed, you know. They told us it, and then they're like, okay, here's your stuff, have a nice day, go make money. You know, that was our training class. So we learned a lot by hard knocks. You know? And it's funny because now, as a veteran, I get, shootout's not a good word, I get chastised by the way I do certain things sometimes, because now this training class has come along and they're teaching them everybody, they want everybody doing the same thing. But you know, I've never been trained to do that. So you always gotta be willing to move, and you gotta be willing to constantly learn, and you gotta be willing to constantly change in this business. How many of you have seen and have really realized the difference in Nike 5 years ago and now? Just to what you buy from them. Shoes, clothes, you know, shirts. Yeah, you can't get he's got a Nike shirt on, I think, right there, right? Yeah. He's got a Legend t-shirt on. That's not a cotton t-shirt. It's hard to get a cotton t-shirt from Nike anymore. You know, it's hard to get a cotton t-shirt anywhere anymore. Now, you can get them, but you know, you see what I'm saying? Everybody wants performance. They want dry fit. They want stuff that's going to take the sweat away. I'm going to give you a trade secret. What do you think dry fit is? I don't care what brand it is. What material do you think dry fit is? Polyester. Polyester, buddy. Polyester. That's all it is. That's what they call dry fit. Polyester. Now it's treated and stuff, but it's polyester. I remember back in the old days when men wore polyester suits. It kept them cooler. You know? It changed. Warm up. Hoodies. It's hard to get a cotton hoodie now. It's all that slick texture, dry fit, feel. I get requests for cotton hoodies a lot. And I have to go and find them because they're not just prevalent out there. So you have to constantly be learning new product. You have to constantly be keeping up with the market. You got to constantly be, and this is one of the hardest ones, keeping up with the way that younger generation thinks. Shoes, basketball shoes. One of the most profit-driven items we sell. Probably more profit in basketball shoes than a lot of things we sell. But what does everybody want in basketball shoes? They want that live color, that orange, that lime green. Guess what? That's not a team color. So when you're in team sales, you got to be able to go and say, I can't get that. Well, why not? It's on Nike's website. I hear that 1,000,000 times a week. It's on Nike's website. Can you not get it? No. Well, it's right here. They got plenty. It shows them in stock. Nike's 2 divisions, retail, team. This is an interesting fact for you. Team and retail. What percentages do you think they are? What percentage is retail? What percentage is team in Nike's total revenue sales? Just somebody take a stab at it.
75-25.
75-25.
Yeah.
Not really. Not close. Well, it's close, but not. It's better than most answers. A lot of people say 50-50. 90, 10.
Wow.
Nike team sales are 10%. 10% of their multi-billion-dollar company. That's not a lot. I mean, it really isn't a lot. So when a coach or somebody asks, well, why can't you get it? I'm going to say, because we're in the lower 10. You're in the lower 10%. People aren't going to cater to you. You know, it's that simple. And you got to be prepared for those things. Now, one thing I felt like made me prepared for this job, and I told you I had no sales experience whatsoever, which I think is a good thing, because what training I did get, I didn't pick up bad habits. Now, have I picked up some sense? Yeah, I've picked up some bad habits now. You know, some. Everybody does. You don't pick